What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And spring break has literally started, which means the video grind is on. Today we have 10 wrestlers that made terrible gimmicks work. Coming in at number 10, we have Mizdow. In April 2014, Damien Sandow became a comedic impersonator and began dressing as different characters every week. In August, he would start making appearances as The Miz's stunt double. He would mimic everything that The Miz would do, both in and out of the ring. The gimmick was initially supposed to be a one-time thing, but then WWE decided to make it long-term, and it lasted for a very long time. They would change Damien Sandow's name to Damien Mizdow to reflect his new character. Mizdow became one of the most popular characters on the roster, and there were a ton of "We Want Mizdow" chants in the arenas. Sandow said that the reaction he got from the fans when him and The Miz split up at WrestleMania 31 was one of his favorite memories as a WWE superstar, and it would eclipse any award or accolade. Number 9, The New Day. Right when The New Day were formed, they had a black gospel gimmick. A few months after they debuted, fans started to reject their characters, and they would be turned heel a few weeks later. After The New Day dropped the gospel gimmick and turned their characters into something unique, fans would begin to cheer them despite being heels. Xavier Woods would begin to bring out a trombone, which they called Francesca. They would also begin to wear unicorn horns during their entrances. And finally, they even made their own cereal, which are Bootios. Rolling Stone even named The New Day WWE's best wrestlers of 2015. The group would hold onto the tag team championships for 483 days and beat Demolition's record for longest reigning tag team champions, which was a record that they held for 28 years. Number 8, Doink the Clown. In 1993, Doink the Clown made his debut in the WWF. You would imagine that if a clown character would debut on a wrestling show, that the character would probably not last too long. However, Matt Osborne took the goofy character that WWF gave him and he made it work. Many people besides Osborne have played Doink over the years, including Steve Kieran, John Maloof, Nick Dinsmore, and many others. Doink would make appearances in the WWE on multiple occasions after Osborne left the WWE, including the Gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania 17 and Raw 1000. Number 7, Goldust. In 1995, Goldust made his debut in the WWF. His gimmick involved him having mysterious and sexually suggestive mannerisms, and he deliberately would creep out his opponents by flirting with them. This gimmick sounds really bizarre and doesn't really seem like it would work in professional wrestling. However, Dustin Runnels would make his character great, and he would actually make it work for over 20 years. He was so dedicated to his character that he even considered getting breast implants if Vince McMahon gave him $1 million just to make the character seem like an even bigger freak. Number 6, Mankind. Before Mick Foley came to the WWF in 1996, Mick Foley was wrestling under the name of Cactus Jack in WCW and ECW. WWF wanted to give him a character who wore a leather mask named Mankind. Mankind was a mentally deranged, schizophrenic who spoke to a rat named George and physically abused himself by pulling out his own hair. Mankind was interviewed by JR, in which they would talk about Mick Foley's past in wrestling, as well as his home videos that featured a hippie-inspired character that he played called Dude Love. The interviews showed people who Mick Foley really was, instead of just how he was portrayed on TV. After these interviews, he would become a part of major storylines as Mankind, including his feud with The Undertaker, which was when we all saw one of the most famous wrestling moments of all time, Mankind falling off the cell, of course. Number 5, Kane. When Kane debuted, he was the brother of The Undertaker who was burned in a fire that occurred during his childhood. He came to WWF to challenge The Undertaker. Glenn Jacobs was able to make this gimmick work beyond the matches with The Undertaker and has been wrestling as Kane for almost 20 years. Kane would go on to be a very big name and a very important superstar in the WWE. He would break the record for the most eliminations in a Rumble match. He would hold multiple titles, including the World title, Intercontinental title, the Hardcore title, and the Tag Team titles. Kane is one of the favorites from the Attitude Era and is still wrestling today. Number 4, Eugene. In April of 2004, Nick Dinsmore made his WWE debut as Eugene. The character was the mentally handicapped nephew of Eric Bischoff, who learned how to wrestle by watching his favorite superstars on TV, and he was placed under the care of William Regal. Eugene would feud with people like Triple H, Kurt Angle, Eric Bischoff, and the Spirit Squad. When people watch the character now, they could see how offensive the character actually was to people who have mental disabilities. He talked like a child and also exaggerated mannerisms. The character actually became very popular with the fans and was around until 2007. Dinsmore reached success in WWE under this character, and that shocked many fans. Number 3, the Hurricane. In 2007, Gregory Helms was given a superhero character called the Hurricane. In his debut as the Hurricane, he defeated Matt Hardy and became the European champion. He would hold multiple title championships, including the Hardcore Championship, the Cruiserweight Championship, and the Tag Team Championships. This gimmick would only last until September of 2005, but he would later make a return in 2009, a part of the ECW brand. Helms was able to get the character over with the crowds. He even feuded and defeated The Rock, which is one of the biggest accomplishments of his career. Number 2, Broken Matt Hardy. In May of 2016, Matt Hardy returned to TNA under a new broken persona. His new gimmick would include him with a part of his hair bleached blonde, as well as him talking with a strange accent. He blamed Jeff Hardy for breaking him and wanted to delete him. In June 28, 2016, the Hardys competed in a match called The Final Deletion, which had the Hardy brand on the line and took place at their home in Cameron, North Carolina. Jeff would go on to lose that match and became deleted, with his name being changed to Brother Nero. The Broken Hardys became so popular that Impact held 2 more special shows called Delete or Decay and Total Nonstop Deletion. This shows how creative the Hardys are and how they can make a weird over-the-top gimmick work. Number 1, The Undertaker. The Undertaker is one of the biggest names in wrestling history, but if you think about what his gimmick actually is, you'll realize that it's kind of weird. He debuted as an actual Undertaker, but over the years, he would transform into the character known as the Dead Man. If this character were to debut on WWE television in 2017, the character would definitely not get over because of how silly it would actually be. Mark Calloway was able to take this character that he was given in the early 90s and made it into one of the biggest characters in wrestling history, which is truly amazing. He was able to achieve high levels of success under this character, including multiple world championships, as well as an undefeated streak at WrestleMania, which would last for more than 20 years. And that is it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Pllana. Subscribe to my other channels, Official Life X and No Love VP, and I'll see you all later.